Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So, we have got a BMW here in E91 and it is due for new brake fluid. So that's what this video is, changing the brake fluid on that. And the first thing I need to do is to get underneath the bonnet and gain access to the brake fluid reservoir, which should be around here, placed directly on top of the masturbator cylinder. And now we've got that cover off, we can see the brake fluid reservoir, so we need to take that off, which is just a case of undoing it nice and carefully. And then we can see that it is very full of brake fluid, which we are going to need to empty. So I have got a syringe with a little pipe on it, and I'm just going to suck the fluid out of there, like, as you can see. And we'll keep on doing that until it is empty. And that seems to be about all I can get out of there because of this little filter gauze that's in here. But with a bit of jiggling around, I'm hoping that that is going to be removable. Yes. That was a little bit tighter and harder to get out than I was hoping for, but now we can get the rest of it out. Yes. So I think that is all I'm going to be able to get out of there, so I might as well put that back in for what it was worth to take it out in the first place. There is going to be a little bit you can't get in the other side of the reservoir, but fuck it, that'll do. And now of course I need to refill that with some new fluid, which is this stuff. This is what I'm going to use. So we have got .4 brake fluid, and that LV there, that means low viscosity, and what that's for is basically it means that it's thinner and it's faster reacting, so your traction control, ABS and everything should work better with this in. Yes. And now we've nice and accurately filled that right to the top, we can get on with the next part of the process.
I'm balanced, I can fly private, I can fly eco, do a red carpet or do free flow.
Which involves going around to the passenger side rear and jacking it up, which makes it possible for us to remove the wheel. Let's try again. Yes. And I'm going to say that they were probably tighter than they should have been. Anyway, they now are all out, so the wheel can be nice and easily removed, which of course allows us access to this bleed nipple. Now, if you are not working on the side of the road and you're on a pit or something, or a ramp, and you can get underneath it, you won't need to take the wheel off, you should be able to get to this, but I'm not, and I am on the side of the road, so with the wheel off I can now access, yes, this bleed nipple, which is in fact a 9mm hex. So let's just crack that off and make sure it's loose, and then just tighten it back up again. And then I need to grab a syringe with a bit of pipe on it and make sure that there's a bit of brake fluid in it, and I want to fill this pipe up with brake fluid before connecting this onto this bleed nipple. And then I need to make sure that that is going that way basically, so the fluid is going up into it, not down into it, so any air is gonna go up and out of it. And then when that is connected to there, I can loosen this back off again, and all I've got to do is pump this pedal a few times, maybe 3 times, which pumps the fluid into here, and I need to keep on doing that until this syringe is full. Yes. So now I need to tighten that back up and dispose of that old fluid, or most of it, leave about that much in, because I need to do the same thing again. I'm going to take another syringe out of this corner. Yes. So now I can lock this up, because this corner, or this caliper, has had 2 full syringes out of it, which should really easily be enough to flush it through. Now, sometimes when you do this, the old fluid might be darker and then you can see the new fluid coming through cleaner. But unfortunately, the new fluid and the old fluid are pretty much exactly the same fucking colour, so it's hard to see. But sometimes when you do this, like I say, if the old fluid's darker, which does happen, you actually see when it starts coming through clean and you know you've got it all through. I mean, 2 of them syringes should definitely be enough to flush this through. So I'm going to call this corner done. Make sure that this is definitely tightened up. Remove this. If you're using a syringe like this, while you're removing it, if you pull on this like so, it stops it from ejaculating fluid everywhere when you pull it off. And so that is this one done. So I need to make sure that that's tight and torqued up correctly. Click. Put this Johnny back on there, and then I just need to refit this wheel onto there. Yes. 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 And of course, now I need to do exactly the same on the other side, which I'm not really going to show because it's exactly the same unless there's something different to actually show when I'm doing it. Yes. Now, before I start pumping any fluid through, it's obviously a good idea to make sure that this shitter is in fact still full, which of course it is. And after pumping a couple of those syringes through there, that is this one now done. So obviously I need to put the wheel back on here and torque that up. Something like that. And then now we can recheck our level and top up as required. And we can make our way into the front, which the next one I'm going to do is the front passenger side. I don't know if you've noticed what I've done here, but I've started with the one furthest away from the driver, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. It's not actually that important when you're just flushing the fluid through. When you're bleeding, it becomes a bit more important, but you don't have to do it, just sometimes makes it easier. Anyway, let's move on to that one, which, with the wheel off, you can see that looks like that. So that is the bleeding nipple here, and this one is now an 11mm. Let's see if it's going to come off. That does feel like that's pretty tight. And of course, I could just keep on pushing on that harder and harder and harder with the spanner until either it undoes or snaps. But I want to try and avoid that, so I have got a little impact gun. And some people will probably think that this just means that I'm going to snap it. If it's going to be easy to snap with a spanner, then it's going to be easier to snap with an impact gun. But I'll just demonstrate something. I'm sure I've showed this in other videos or explained it, but if you have an impact gun going into something like this and you want to undo it, then you don't, if you push that trigger all the way, then you are just going to fucking snap it off, obviously. You give it a little bit, just so the hammer kicks in. Yes. Yes. And so now I've nice and carefully freed that off by undoing it with the impact gun and just nipped it back up. Just undo it again with that pipe connected and just do the same thing. Yes. And then with a couple of syringes worth pumped through on this one and all that put back together, we have just got that one to do, which is just the same thing again. And so of course I've pumped another syringe through that one, so each caliper has now had 2 full syringes like that through it to flush it through, which should be enough to get the new fluid through the system. It was hard to tell the difference, like I said, because the colour of the fluid, this is the old fluid, which wasn't actually that dirty, but the old fluid has got like a little bit of a greeny tinge to it compared to the new fluid, so you can just about tell the difference, and it has come through. on them all, but it's not really going to show up on camera. The new fluid is more like a dirty straw colour. Anyway, now of course I need to fill that back up to somewhere near the maximum line before putting this back on nice and lovingly. And obviously refitting this, which just goes around there. Better. And that means that under here we are in fact done. And we are in fact done in general, because that is a job complete. Obviously you probably have to reset your service reminder on the dash, but I'm not showing that now. This isn't the only way to do this. If you've got a decent diagnostics like this, you can use it to cycle the ABS pump and pump the fluid through that way, or use, you know, with a pressure bleeder, and there is other ways of doing it. But this way, you're not having to bleed up the system, you're just flushing it through, so it doesn't really matter about purging the ABS pump as much. And you are going to pump the fluid through it anyway by pumping it through the way that we've done it. So this method will work on pretty much any car. Also, you can put .5.1 in if you want to, which is the same stuff but with a higher temperature range as the .4. And .5.1, I think all of it is at low viscosity, like the stuff that I've put in, which a lot of modern cars want low viscosity stuff because they've got the traction control ABS. It just makes it more responsive through that. If I notice any difference, I'll put it on the end of the video, but I don't think I'm going to notice any difference with the brakes because there was nothing really wrong with it. And so anyway, as I was saying, I've used .4 low viscosity, which is supposedly the right stuff for this car. You can use .5.1. .3, .4, .5.1 are all the same, but, well, they're the same sort of base, but they're slightly different, and like .5.1 is higher boiling point, and yeah, anyway. .5, just be careful, because if you are going to use .5, you need the 5.1, because .5 is silicon based. It's completely different stuff. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, if there's anything I notice difference about the brakes, then I'll add it on the end, but I doubt there will be. And upon driving the automobile, I can in fact confirm that the brakes do actually feel slightly better. The pedal's slightly higher and slightly firmer, so that indicates that possibly maybe we had a little bit of air in the system. Not sure how, but anyway, I think that's all for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and I'll see you next time.